The night I found the transfer receipts and the hotel keycard in my own house, I understood something cold and final. My husband wasn't just betraying me emotionally, he was stealing my future. My name is Elena Cross, and this is how I let the truth destroy me, and then how I destroyed the lie. I married Daniel Cross believing in structure, order, trust. He was calm, disciplined, admired in boardrooms. I was the quiet force behind his rise, the strategist, the stabilizer, the one who read contracts while he read people. We lived in Austin, Texas, in a glass-walled house that reflected success but muffled sound. From the outside, we were unbreakable. Inside, something had shifted. It started with silence that lingered too long. His phone face down. Late meetings that didn't smell like work. I noticed receipts folded with care, like secrets pressed flat. When I asked questions, he didn't lie loudly. He minimized. That hurt more. I told myself it was stressful. Mergers. Pressure. Men unravel quietly, I'd heard. But I felt watched in my own marriage. Studied. Like a variable he hadn't decided how to eliminate yet. At night, he slept with his back to me. In the mornings, he left early, dressed sharper than necessary. I began waking before dawn, listening to the house breathe, wondering when it had stopped being mine. I didn't know then that betrayal doesn't arrive as chaos. It arrives as a calculation. The discovery wasn't dramatic. No screaming. No lipstick on a collar. It was a spreadsheet. I was reconciling our joint accounts, something I'd always handled, when I saw 3 wire transfers I didn't recognize. Small enough not to trigger alarms. Precise enough to be intentional. The destination was an LLC I'd never heard of. I followed the trail. The LLC led to a consulting firm registered under a woman named Marissa Hale. No website. No employees. Just a mailbox and a hotel address in Dallas. My hands didn't shake yet. Not until I checked Daniel's calendar. He'd been in Dallas the same night. Repeatedly. I drove there without telling him. Sat in my car across from the hotel, watching the entrance like a witness waiting for courage. When I saw them together, close, familiar, his hand resting on her back like it belonged there, my chest hollowed out. I didn't confront them. I watched. That's the part people don't understand. Rage didn't come first. Clarity did. Back home I searched deeper. Old emails. Archived folders. Draft contracts. What I found was worse than an affair. Daniel wasn't just sleeping with her. He was planning to move assets. Our assets. The consulting firm was a funnel. Money moved quietly. Ownership documents were being prepared. He was positioning himself to exit the marriage clean. Leave me with the shell while he walked away with the substance. The humiliation burned. The fear followed. But beneath it all, something sharper formed. Resolve. For 3 days I functioned on instinct. I cooked. I smiled. I listened to him talk about us like it was still real. Inside I was dismantling. I replayed our years together, relabeling memories with new meaning. Compliments that were distractions. Promises that were placeholders. Love that had an expiration date I was never told about. I cried once. Alone. Briefly. Then I stopped. Because I realized something vital. Daniel thought I was emotional. He didn't know I was prepared. I wasn't going to expose him. Not yet. Exposure warns predators. I needed leverage. I needed proof. I needed time. Marissa wasn't the mastermind. She was the incentive. The mirror he used to admire himself. The real villain was entitlement, the belief that he could erase me quietly. He underestimated the woman who built half his life. That was his final mistake. I hired a forensic accountant first. Quietly. Then a family attorney who specialized in complex asset division. I didn't tell them about the affair. I told them about the risk. We documented everything. Emails. Transfers. Intent. The LLC structure. The timeline that proved premeditation. I learned the difference between suspicion and evidence. And I made sure I had the latter. Then I did something Daniel never expected. I amended our trust. Perfectly legal. Perfectly timed. Triggered by a clause he'd signed years earlier without reading carefully. One I'd insisted on after my father's divorce. Infidelity tied to financial misconduct voided certain protections. He never noticed. Why would he? He thought the game was already won. I waited until the final transfer cleared. until the paper trail was undeniable, until his exit strategy was complete. Then I filed. The confrontation happened in a conference room, not our home. Neutral ground. Witnesses nearby. My attorney did the talking at first. Daniel's face drained as the evidence stacked. The affair. The shell company. The attempted asset diversion. The breach of trust. He tried to speak. I stopped him. For the first time in years he listened. The settlement stripped him of control he thought was permanent. The trust amendments held. The court didn't punish emotion. It punished intent. He walked away with far less than he planned. Marissa disappeared the moment money stopped moving. I didn't watch him leave. I watched myself stay. I kept the house, the business interest, the future he tried to steal. Not because I wanted revenge, but because justice doesn't apologize. Months later, I signed the final document alone. No tears. Just breathe. I don't hate him anymore. Hate implies connection. What I feel now is distance. And peace. I used to think closure was loud. An apology. Confession. A moment where the villain finally understood what they lost. I was wrong. Closure is quiet. It's waking up in a house that no longer feels hostile. It's opening my laptop and seeing accounts that belong to me, not to a marriage built on deception. It's the absence of dread when a phone buzzes. The calm of knowing no one is moving pieces behind my back anymore. Daniel tried to contact me once after everything was finalized. A single email. No remorse, just disbelief. As if the outcome offended him more than the betrayal ever offended me. I never replied. Because justice doesn't need commentary. The truth is, I didn't win because I was smarter. I won because I stopped loving someone who had already stopped seeing me as human. The moment I detached, I became dangerous, not reckless, not cruel, just precise. I didn't take revenge to hurt him. I took it to reclaim myself. Some people think walking away is a weakness. They don't understand power. Power is knowing you could destroy someone emotionally, and choosing instead to let the law, the facts, and time do it cleanly. I didn't get my marriage back. I got something far more permanent. My life. And this time no one else gets a vote in it. Because the day he betrayed me was the day he lost the power to decide how my story ended. That was the last day he ever had control over me.
If this story made you feel something, pain, anger, clarity, or strength, you're not alone. Stories like this are why Betrayal Nation exists. Please like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and write a comment below. We read every single one, and your voice matters here. Your support truly helps this channel grow, so if you haven't already, subscribe and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Together, we're building a place where real stories are heard, truth is exposed, and justice finds its voice. This is Betrayal Nation. Thank you for being part of it.